Hey everybody, it's Tracy from Downward Dog Rising. Tonight my intent is to do Pilates to bring you deeper into your yoga asanas. So every single yoga asana that I choose, we're going to do a dynamic movement Pilates exercise right before we go into our static asana hold. So I think it'll be interesting because you should be able to go deeper into your yoga asana with more flexibility of your muscles because they'll already be warmed up from the motion of Pilates. So if this sounds like something interesting for you to try, then join me and let's begin. We're going to start off sitting in an easy pose. Allow the knees just to fall gently down into the mat. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, release. 2 more times. We're going to inhale, lift arms to sky. And exhale, release. I'm just going to increase range of motion real fast. There we go. Try that. Breathing in. Lift and lengthen. Exhale. All right. Next, what I want you to do, I want you to press the top of your head towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Create maximal length in your spine. Now, once you feel maximal length in spine, I want you to feel the front of your ribs, draw them inward to the back of your ribs, creating even more length in your spine. And now we're in neutral. Our front ribs meet our back ribs. And then I want you to take one arm out to your side, and I want you to do a little side bend. So you're just going to gently stretch over to one side, hand behind head and neck. And I want you to inhale and really increase the distance between your ribs. Inhale, your ribs expand from under the armpit all the way down to your hip bone. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale, release. Inhale, breathe in. Lateral flexion and neutral spine. One more time. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Rise back up. Again, press top of head to sky, lengthen your spine. Pull the front of your rib cage to meet the back of your rib cage so you know you're in your neutral. Elongate the other arm up and gently come to the other side of your body. Bend elbow, open that elbow in alignment with your shoulder. Feel a stretch under the armpit all the way to the front of your hip bone. Opening up your side line, your side spine, breathing in, breathing out. Ribs and hips separate, breathing in, breathing out. One more time, ribs and hips separate, breathing in, breathing out. Lengthen back up. Next, I'm going to have you take the knees together, take your feet together on your mat. All right, your sits bones are pushing down. So your sits bones are pushing down. Lift up to the top of your head. Lift your arms together. Arms rise up. Bring hands to heart center. And bow from the center of your heart to the top of your head. Lift and lengthen up. Bring arms back by sides. So we're going to bow, breathe in. Hands to heart center, stretch from mid-back to top of head. Exhale, inhale, rise back up, hands to sides. 3 more. Breathe in, hands come together, heart center, bow forward, head away from mid-back. Lift up, lengthen, arms by sides. 2 more times, breathing in, hands together. Bow forward from center between your 2 shoulder blades to top of head. Lengthen up, breastbone away. 1 more time, breathing in. Exhale, bow forward, head away from center of spine. Breathe in. And gently release arms down. Good job. Next, if you have disc herniations, you might need to avoid this. If you have degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, osteoporosis, you don't want to do this one. We're going into spinal flexion, and we're gonna make it like roll through the low back. So if you already have compression, I'd advise you avoid this segment. If you want to join us and you don't want to stop moving, here's what you can do. Reach your arms forward, work at the hip point, front ribs meet back ribs, scoop your core tight, hinge back, only to the point where your spine is supporting your back. Lift up, come back. So, modification, flat back hinge, crease at the hip, come up, keep spine long. This is your modification. Okay, you want to do spinal flexion? You're going to take arms out, press top of head to sky. Now we're only moving the bottom segment of our spine. Breathe in. After you create length, you want to slowly scoop your abdominal wall to your back, roll behind your sits bones, scoop in from pubic bone, lengthen up to your breastbone, stack up tall. Again, spinal flexion. Roll behind your sits bones, scoop from pubic bone to navel, rise back up again to top of head. 3 more. Roll behind sits bones, scoop in, feel the connection. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale, elongate right up to top of head. 1 more. Exhale. Inhale, lift to top of head. Good job. All right. Next exercise that I want you to do in Pilates, if you want to modify, like if you have herniated discs or osteoporosis, you would do it this version. You would lengthen, peel, allow your shoulder blades to fall down your back, and then you would hinge at the hip joint. Forward, keep spine long, come back. Maybe you would have your hands by sides, scoop your abdominals tight. Tiny hip hinge, flat back, there's no rounding of the middle spine. So modify here. So if you want to increase the range of your spine, your arms would float up, blades cascade down sides of back, shoulders melt away from ears, stretch top of head away from your tailbone. Now, draw your chin to your breastbone, bow forward, center of spine moves. Now imagine your rib cage wrap over a beach ball in your lap. Create length between the lower ribs. Stretch over those thighs. Inhale, stretch those hamstrings, inserting into gluteals. Scoop your core deep to your back and stack up to the wall behind you. Inhale, stretch spine. Again, modified. Hinge forward, spine is straight, flat back neutral. Roll down through the spine, draw your chin, bow forward. This is non-modified. Then you scoop your abdominal wall to your backbone. You're wrapping your ribs around an imaginary ball in your lap. Feel those hamstrings stretch super long. Scoop your core and stack up against wall behind you. 3 more. Elongate. Bow head forward. Lengthen from mid-breastbone. Wrap ribs around imaginary ball. Flex your feet for a deeper stretch through back chain of legs. Scoop in. Stack against imaginary wall behind you. 1 more time. Stretch apart. Breathe in. Draw chin to breastbone. Exhale. Wrap those ribs around imaginary ball and lap. Stretch out backs of thighs. Inhale, stack against wall behind you. Relax arms by sides. Shake out your knees. Going into yoga. Going into yin yoga. Caterpillar. forward fold, forward bend, Paschimottanasana. Root down into bottom of pelvis, rise up to top of head. Hip hinge forward, flex your toes. Reach for shins, reach for ankles, reach for pinky toes. Feel inner thigh line, wrap outward, pull pinky toes laterally sideways and really elongate side lines of hips. Stretch your sternum, your breastbone forward, hip hinge. Modified osteoporosis, maybe you'd reach to center of hip, shins. Hold it here and breathe. Pull breastbone forward and through. Flex toes to sky for a deeper stretch. Breathing in, breathing out. Go deeper, go to your edge to the point where you can't go any further without force. Breathing in and breathing out. Yin is about yielding, about receiving, softening, coolness, stillness, cool, water, dark, yin, moon, energetic qualities, yielding, plastic can bend. Breathing in, breathing out. Pull forward. Pull that breastbone through the arms. Breathing in, breathing out. Flowing. Breathing in, breathing out. Yin is mutable, not fixed. Breathing in, breathing out. Soften, receive. Less action-oriented as Yan. Yan is action, motion, movement, light, sun, activity, drive, push. Keep pulling breastbone forward and through. Soften, lengthen mid-back. If we hold a pose longer than 90 seconds, our body can begin to produce hyaluronic acid, which is very therapeutic for our joints, for our myofascia, our connective webbing. From the inside out, the changes are more lasting than temporary. One more deep inhale. And slowly lengthen top of head away from tailbone. Come back in. All right. Now from here, what I want you to do, fold one leg over the other. And just slowly hug your knee. Twist to one side. Open shoulder, chest. Inhale, exhale, release. Extend. Take the other knee, fold it over, rise up, hug knee to chest, rotate to the other side. Inhale, exhale, and release. All right. Next Pilates exercise that I want you to do is actually twist. For twist, I can face you. And I want you to see, I don't want you to do this, cheating, moving your arms. so you don't cheat. Reach your fingertips to your shoulders. It's your torso. Your shoulders are over your hips. I want you to expand. Find front ribs, meet back ribs. Inhale. Breathe, expand into your rib cage. Exhale, wring out the wet sponge, sides of waist. Breathe in, into those ribs. Spine elongates. Exhale, return. Press top of head to sky. Exhale, return. Breathing in. Ribs expand. Exhale, return. 2 more. Press head to sky. Expand those ribs laterally. 1 more. Sits bones firm on mat. Rotation happens through mid-back, thoracic spine. Good job. Go back to the other one we just did. In yoga, spinal seated twist. Bottom of foot connects to the mat. Rise up. Rotate. Bring one arm down. This other hand is going to pull that knee in. And I want your sternum to lift to the sky. And I want you to feel like you can almost do a small, tiny back bend as you lift up and breathe. Open chest. Sink into sits bones. Collarbones wide. Stretch top of head away from tailbone. Really expand those ribs wide open and apart. Lift chest slightly, extend that spine. We want mobility in the middle of our back, mid-back. One more deep inhale. Slowly come back in. Extend that leg down. Fold the other knee. Bottom of foot touches the mat. Root down into the bottom of your hips. Flex that foot. You're rising up. Now I want you to really lift to the top of your head. I want you to hug that knee towards you. Bring this other arm straight down under your shoulder. Open those collarbones wide. Open shoulders, chest. Maybe you'll even do a slight back bend through mid-breastbone, thoracic spine. Breathing in. Really expand into your lateral rib cage. Get those intercostals stretching apart. Muscles between your ribs. Keep lifting sternum, breastbone to sky. Collarbones melt wide like butter. Collarbones widen across the chest. Breathing in. Lift to sky. Any tightness in those ribs, keep breathing into them to release the tightness. Press top of head to sky. Lift breastbone to sky. Feel lateral ribs expand. Feel back of ribs widen. Shoulder blades fall down back. Chest open. 2 more deep inhales. And 1 more deep inhale. Exhale, gently release. Good job. All right, this next exercise that I want you to do, you're going to squeeze inner thighs together, pull them in, integrate them. Elongate your thighs away from your hip sockets. Elongate, stretch the backs of those thighs long. Let your heels drop into the mat. Your arms reach out to sides of body at height of shoulders. Those 2 shoulder blades are suspended down each side of your back. Press top of head to sky. Rise up out of your pelvis. Sink your sits bones below you into your mat. Inhale. Now I want you to do 2 pulses as you expel the air out of the lungs and wring out your spine. Exhale. Rise to top of head. Modified, if you have osteoporosis, do a tiny inhale, twist sideways, come in. Just modify your twist, avoid going too far, and avoid sudden motions. Expand nice and slow into your ribs, keeping your hips grounded. That's modified for osteoporosis. Stretch fingertips out. Keep your wrists straight. Rise up. Inhale. Now for the more advanced, exhale. Inhale, rise up. Blades float down back. Twist. Going a little deeper from our yoga twist. 4 and 3, 2, last set. Come back in, shake out your knees. Next, I want you to do saw. So you're going to flex your feet. If you were to sit like this, you would sink your sits bones into the mat. Osteoporosis, you would do a small hinge, root the opposite side. This hip would root down as you stretch your pinky finger to pinky toe. Inhale, rise up. This hip would root down as you do your rotation from thoracic spine, pinky finger by pinky toe. Modify, elongate upward. And you wouldn't pulse, you would just do one single inhale, exhale. Really feel the inner thigh lines lengthen. Exhale. This is modified, breathing in. Exhale, float those blades down your back. Shoulder blades float down your back. So, non-modified, we're going to go a little deeper. We're going to rotate. And then we're going to peel from the top of our head. Bow, scoop in. Ribs pull over the bow. Peel up vertebra by vertebra. Inhale. Plant your sits bone behind you. Roll from top of head. Bow forward. Exhale. Scoop in. Stack your spine up. Vertebra by vertebra. Root down to bottom of pelvis. Head away from tailbone. Exhale. Scoop. Opposite side of pelvis. Roots into your mat. Chest is open. Collarbones wide. Inhale. Wring out the wet sponge. Sides of waist. Exhale. Space between ribs and hips. Press heels away from you. Reach through balls of feet. Toes to sky. Pinky finger to pinky toe. Rise up. Bring out the wet towel. Exhale. Reach across. Inhale. Lift and lengthen. Pelvis is stabilized into the mat. Spinal column is moving with a stable pelvis. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, roll through your spine, articulate. Inhale, lengthen up, come back. Shake out your knees. All right. Next exercise, we're going to do straddle and yoga and yin yoga. Maybe you're ready now. You can go a little wider apart in your straddle. The bottoms of those thighs are lengthening out of your hip sockets. Those thigh bones rotate outward. Inner thighs rotate to sky. Knees face up. Maybe you'll do a small sway side to side. Get the sides of your waistline to stretch. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Root down to bottom of sits bones. 2 more. Breathing in. Breathing out. 1 more time. Breathing in. Breathing out. Feel how those thighs sink down into the mat. Feel how they stretch out of your center. Press top of head to ceiling. Slowly, we're going to stretch forward, kneecaps to sky. Come to wherever's comfortable for you. Maybe you're on your forearms. Maybe you're on your hands. Maybe you grab a yoga block if you have one, or a pillow, or a stack of blanket, or a folded up blanket. Keep knees to sky. Spine is long. And you're gently coming forward, wherever's comfortable. You could go up higher on your block. You can use your block higher like that. Relax shoulders. You could go to another level, go down a little lower. Or you could go a little lower. Rest your forehead on your block. And hold here and breathe. Knees to sky, reach through soles, bottoms of feet, balls of feet. Heels press away. Front of thighs, lifting off your knees, lengthening backs of thighs heavier into the mat as they release. Finding your edge, commit to it. Make that commitment to yourself, to better yourself, not to compete with anyone else, just to better yourself and be your best. Honor yourself. When you feel a give, your body is ready to go a little deeper, you may do so. Knees to sky, spine is long. Soften, yield, receive. Be open to receive. Feel how those sits bones stretch behind you, creating more space in the front of your hip flexors. Thigh bones twist outward. Reach through bottoms of feet. Lengthen your spine. Elongate, stretch. Release. One more deep inhale. And slowly we're going to start to walk our hands in. Gently we're going to come back in. Slide feet together. Press legs long. Open shoulders, chest. Slowly engage glutes. Lengthen through backs of thighs. And lift pelvis as you press hips to sky. Chest is open. Hip bones press up. Glutes are engaged. Abdominals pull tight to your back. Chest is open. Breathing in. Breathing out. Feel sides of hips engage. Glutes engage. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more deep inhale. Breathing in. And breathing out, gently come back in. So I'm gonna have you do thigh stretch in Pilates. I might have to move out so you can see. Kneel on your mat. We would have maybe a bar in Pilates. Since I don't have a bar to hand to you right now, press elbow against, palm against elbow, back of hand against inner elbow. Kneel. Front rib cage meets back rib cage. You're in your neutral spine. Your tailbone drops. Hip hinge. Abdominals scoop in. Glutes engage. Rise up to top of head. Come back up. Feel front of thigh stretch. This is thigh stretch. Scoop in. Engage gluteals. Lengthen top of head. Away from tailbone. Flat back neutral. Hip hinge. Flat back neutral. Feel abdominals scoop into spine. Tailbone long. Hip hinge. Exhale. We'll rise up again. 3 more. Breathing in and exhale. Top of head away from tailbone. Flat back hip hinge. 2 more. 1 more time. Flat back hip hinge. Feel front of thighs lengthen. From here, stretch arms overhead. Bring hands to back of hips. I'm going to protect knees. You could keep tops of feet flat on mat if you have no knee issues. If you want to separate some of the pressure from the knees, draw it straight back into the balls of feet, you can do so. We're going into camel, Ustrasana. Tailbone stretches down. Hip bones roll forward. Hinge straight back. Hold here, modified. If you wish to go into a deeper version, reach back, hip hinge, tailbone long, scoop core tight to back. Press hips forward, scoop in. Glutes are engaged. Abdominals keep pulling tight. Chest is open. Breathing in. Breathing out. Open heart. Breathing in. Breathing out. Open your heart. Keep drawing abdominal wall into back. Your glutes are engaged. Your hip points press forward. You're scooping in. Chest is open. Collarbones wide. Energize your spine. Energize. Open front of spine. We create energy in our body. Let's do 1 more deep inhale. Slowly take 1 hand to hip. Take hand to hip. Come up. From here, we're going to release counter pose. Go into a little rest pose. If it doesn't hurt knees, tops of feet hit mat. Otherwise, step onto your toes, balls of feet. Stretch fingertips forward. Stretch from armpits to palms. Lengthen your sternum, breastbone through the arms. Stretch your tailbone, your sits bones behind you, away from you. Pull apart, stretch your spine long. One more deep inhale. And slowly we're going to walk our hands in. All right. I'm going to have you sit on your mat. And then I'm going to have you do 1 more exercise. I'm going to have you peel down, reach behind thighs, lift legs into the air, and then I want you cross your arms, knees in line with hips. Careful knees don't drop the line, below the line of the hips. Now think of working your obliques, wrapping to the center. Knees right, use the left side of those ribs, wring out wet towel, return center, back lengthens into mat, back of pelvis widens into mat. Inhale, and then exhale, center. Breathe in. Exhale, careful you don't lose control and fall sideways. Those blades fall down the back. There's space between them. 3 more. Control from using those obliques. They wrap you. 2 more. Spine is long. And last one. Breathe in, breathe out. Take hands to sky, elbows to sides. Cactus your arms, chest opens. Softly guide knees to side. And hold here and breathe. Softly guide knees to side. Keep neck neutral. Deeper stretch, can turn opposite direction. And I want you to really open the side of your body up. Ribs open apart. Stretch rib cage away from hips. Soften. Breathe into the side of your body. Breathe in between those shoulder blades. Create openness. We want to stretch out your spine, creating length between each vertebral segment. We want to get your spinal fluid moving. When you lose mobility in your spine, it gets so compressed that there's no blood flow in there. Your discs lose the juiciness of that spinal fluid, and they turn into grapes. They turn into like a raisin instead of being a grape. Your spine needs lots of movement to be like the discs being like grapes. So when you fail to move, that's why things start to hurt more. So always try to move. Keep everything working. Joints lubricated. Collarbone wide, melt shoulder into mat. 1 more deep inhale. Exhale, return center. Your shoulders, your knees, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles. They're all in the same path of alignment. Make sure you're centered. Arms rise up. Elbows wide, cactus arms, chest open, knees in line with hips. Slowly you're going to go to the other side for your twist. If you wanted to modify, you could put a yoga block under the knees. You just wouldn't twist as far. If twisting your spine isn't good for you, you don't have to twist. You would keep hips to sky, and you just let your knees go a little bit to the side, keeping those hip bones to the sky, increasing distance between ribs and hips. So you'll just see what's right for you. Chest is open. Let your ribs pull apart as you inhale. Soften your breastbone. Let your collarbones open wide. Let your back shoulder blade peel away from the middle of your spine. Create spaciousness. Feel the whole entire side stretch long. facilitating length in your spine, decompressing joints that need to be decompressed, making more space around the joint so it can move. Let's take one more deep inhale, ribs expand. Slowly exhale, come center. Gently take your legs straight onto the mat. Gently allow your palms to float upwards to sky. Allow your knees to drop outward, coming into a little shavasana, just so your body can absorb all the goodness that you gave it today. Just relax into your mat. Soften, release, extend. Just be open to receive benefits of the work you did today, to give your joints more space so they can move and not feel so compressed, so fluid can move freely, taking out toxins, bringing in the vital oxygen needed for nourishment. Feel chest fall as you exhale. Feel ribs expand. Maybe even your belly rises up on your inhale. Feel chest release down, melt. Exhale. Imagine you're breathing into the back of your body. Breathe into the back of your ribs as they widen. Now I want you to exhale into the front of your body as all the oxygen gets into those lower lobes of the lungs and the impurities are exhaled, floating out. Breathing into the back of your body. Let's exhale into the front. Those ribs connect. Chest falls. Flow. Soften. Allow. Spine lengthens into that. We're going to start to bring our awareness back. You're more than welcome to stay here longer and breathe if it feels right for you in this moment. Deep inhale to the center of your low back. Gently start to bring your awareness back. Maybe you'll wiggle your toes. Maybe you'll wiggle your fingers. Just gently bring yourself back. Carefully, you're going to hug your knees into our chest. Maybe you'll peel, bow forward. Breathe into the center of your back. Gently release. Carefully, we're going to turn to our side, knees in line with hips. Take a moment. And gently, you're going to stretch and press up to a seated position. Coming back into our easy pose. I'm right-handed and I always sit with my right ankle over my left, so if you do that same thing, whether you're left-handed or right-handed, maybe take note of that and just switch sides because it affects your hips. So thank you so much. I enjoyed having you with me tonight, whether it's your morning or afternoon or evening. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate everyone so much. I hope this gives you peace, happiness in your heart, and you feel lighter and you feel better than when you started. Just feel centered and calm Release all negativity from your thoughts. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep improving yourself. Feel your best. Do your best. And be blessed. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all. Peace, everybody. Take care.